Hey there, Sagittarius Sun, Sagittarius Moon, Sagittarius Rising. It's Maggie from Moon Directive. Welcome to my channel. Here we work with the energy to see how we can best utilize it to move our life forward in the most positive way possible. We are going to cover what is the Moon Astrology is doing for the next 2 weeks. This is June 8th through the 14th. It will be time stamped, and then we will do June 15th through the 21st. That includes an eclipse happening at 0 degrees of Cancer, a really powerful event. And so I went to channel messages this week. I like to start off with a channel message. As always, thank you, by the way, for showing up. I don't think I said that in any of the previous videos. I recorded them on a different day, and I was like, oh, I forgot to say thank you. So I went to go channel a message for you. Instead, I got a message for the collective, and I created a video for that, so I will link that in the description box below. It covers what's going on with the eclipses. It felt like a really big message. The Spirit really wanted to get out there, and I didn't want to say it 12 times because it was like 20 minutes long. So, yeah. All right, so let's go ahead. I decided to try to get into your energy using the Fairy Tale Oracle. It says it's Gemini season. Gemini is about, it is about the stories we tell ourselves, about learning from stories, and the stories that we allow others to tell us about who we are that aren't even real. So, you have the Little Mermaid. You have the Little Mermaid. The Little Mermaid is about sacrificing. It is about sacrificing for love. So this is really interesting. I was just communicating with, and she will know who I'm talking about because she will watch this video, but I was just communicating with somebody who was wondering about her Venus, because her Venus is in Sagittarius, but Venus is currently in retrograde at 15 degrees, well, around 15 degrees in Gemini, and so it'll be in opposition to the eclipse that you just had on the 5th in Sagittarius. And so for you, Sagittarius, especially Sagittarius Rising, this is all going on in your 7th house of partnership. And so the Little Mermaid, this is about that sacrifice that we make to chase down our dreams. Right? To chase down our dreams. In this case, her dream was, you know, she wanted to walk on land. She wanted the prince. She wanted all those things. And so she sacrificed. Now, we have the Disney version, and then we have the Hans Christian Andersen version. And in the Hans Christian Andersen version, which, by the way, is the original, she sacrificed a lot and didn't get the prince. And she lost her life for it. So she was willing to sacrifice everything for love. I'm not sure that I want to encourage that. But I do think that when we really care about people, it's really hard to draw those safe and healthy boundaries for ourselves. And so I want to encourage you to not give away everything for love. But in a relationship, there has to be compromise. There has to be give and take. It can't be all about you. And so knowing where the healthy boundaries are, where the appropriate amount of sacrifice is kind of the challenge. So the meaning of this card says you are sacrificing too much for love. Begin again to speak your truth and avoid the bargains that ask for more than they give over the long term. A short-term deal to solve a problem, a seeming problem, is not the answer. Be aware that relationships which demand great sacrifice of your true self and unrequited love is best farewelled. In other words, chasing after somebody who never seems to be the answer, it's a hard way to go. So love who you are. You are your unique self is special. So don't give yourself away in the name of love. The right person won't require that much from you. The right person won't require you to give up who you are, to give up your dreams, to make all these sacrifices. The right person will sacrifice also. Things will be balanced. They will be equal-ish. They can't, in a given snapshot of a moment, they can't be equal. Oftentimes someone gives more than the other one, right? But in the long term, over the length of the relationship, there should be a balance. And if it's not pretty balanced, then you really need to question that and think about that and make some choices and decisions in regards to that. So, wow, that was heavy. And we all thought, oh, the Little Mermaid, it's going to be fun. No, really not. All right, so let's go ahead and move into the first week. The first week is June 8th through the 14th. And so we start out with the moon in Capricorn, which is really nice. It is about that balance, right? That balance coming up again. So after that eclipse happened, we all needed to, as we are releasing those that was in your house of you, right? And so releasing ideas about who you are and expectations that have been placed on you either by yourself or others, long-held beliefs about what should be, those kinds of things were being released. And so then there's a sense of unbalance whenever you like pull the rug out from somebody, but maybe it needed to be taken out and replaced with something better. There's that unbalance, like I got to get my feet again. And so Capricorn was an opportunity to kind of to pull, to regain your balance a little with, whoa, you guys have unlimited ideas. And so when you created the space by releasing the ideas that were not working for you, things that were cluttering up everything, these old ideas, I thought this is how it was supposed to be, but it really isn't working for me because that's not how I feel anymore. You get to create space. It's like clearing space in your closet so that you can go hit the mall and buy some new clothes, right? Well, you clear your space, your mind, the mind space of things that don't work for you anymore, that are your outdated ideas and beliefs, and now you have room for all these unlimited ideas to come in. And so be ready to write them down. Keep a little notebook handy so that they don't escape from you. Or, record into your phone when you wake up from a dream and it's got something there for you, messages coming in from everywhere. Go ahead and take them. So Mercury is really slowing down, and it's kind of in the shadow period now. And so it's time to really focus on projects that you've already started. Like the balance card came flying out again. This is a week to really regain your balance on a lot of things, but it looks like in relationships. So Mercury is slowing down, bringing projects into balance, how much effort you put in versus how much reward you get out of it. So if you're like spending a lot of time doing something and it's not generating the output, then where can you look at how you're spending your time, and is there some way because to shift how you're spending your time. Mercury also rules Virgo, and Virgo is all about that efficiency. And so there is this real sense of needing to bring in some efficiency this week as Mercury is slowing down and getting ready to go retrograde. So the moon moves into Aquarius at 8:54 p.m. on Monday, and then comes into a square with Uranus, who rules Aquarius over there in Taurus on Tuesday morning. And this is when you start to really notice the tension around the changes you want to make, the tension within inside yourself. And so be willing to look for the beauty in the moment. What do you see when you look at this? Do you see the flowers and the butterflies? Now, do you see the face or the other way around? It's a perception change. It's a shift in the paradigm and a different way of looking at things. And look, when you cut things out, you are allowing and promoting new growth to come in. You allow the resilience of your soul, of your being to come into play. And so giving yourself that opportunity is a really beautiful gift that you give yourself. This is going to be about breaking habits of the past to replace them with new methods and new ideas to bring your life back into balance. It is going to be challenging, but you're being challenged to move out of the complacency of just accepting things as they are, and instead going out there and co-creating with Spirit what it is that you want moving forward. What is it that you want moving forward? That becomes the key. So we have the moon moving into Pisces. 5:32 a.m. on Thursday. this could really bring about that emotional release. Like there's the logical, okay, I need to let this stuff go. There's the, all right, practical way of looking at it. But I think come Thursday, really, you might get hit a little bit about it. But this is your chance to escape into the future. This is your chance to take all the experiences that you've had and the knowledge that you've gained and distill it into wisdom and reach for what it is that you really want. It says dwelling in my truth. Well, your truth. Dwelling in truth. I stand in the light of truth. Oh, I stand in the light of truth and I reach for it. And so it's not a bright sunlight, right? The light of truth in this case is the light of truth inside of yourself. What you know inside of yourself. That's what you're reaching for. What is the truth of who I am? Have I been giving myself away too much? Is it time for me to step into my own power? And who am I and what do I believe in for myself? And the answer is yes. In case you were wondering, the answer is yes. Yes, it is. Only you know exactly what arena of your life that is. But I'm guessing as I'm talking right now, you know what it is. So the answer is yes. You need to step into your wisdom, step into your truth. Step in with gratitude for the lessons that you have learned along the way. The people that come into our life that are difficult, they're still our soulmates that agreed to come and teach us, to help us learn these things that our soul needed to grow. And the people that we enjoy the company and they're there and they support us, they also agreed to do that. Well, someone has definitely a better side of it than the other this lifetime, but it rules reverse. Things change around in different lifetimes. It's all part of the same soul group helping each other. And so this is just a reminder that you are being guided. You are being loved and protected by spirit. You're being carried through at this difficult, and it feels difficult, time. Ooh, you have focus. You have focus. It's a snow leopard. See the mountain? That is just gorgeous. So, right now with this moon in Aries, it gets there at Saturday at 5:03 in the evening. And so it'll be Saturday evening, Sunday, and into Monday. There's going to be this sense of maybe a little frustration that things are not happening. Things are not moving along. But as we move into the 15th, of June, that Monday, I think if you really can bring yourself in and focus on what the compromise that you are making, and I want to say it's the compromise you're making with yourself. It is the compromise of what are you willing to release from your life in order to stand in your truth, in order to get to where it is that you deserve to go. What do you want? And so focusing on where you're going, understanding that eclipse was things that were leaving, and let them go and allow yourself to move forward, because you have an eclipse right around the corner. It's happening at the end of this week. And so focusing on where you're going, because this one coming up is a solar eclipse, and solar eclipse, are about pushing through the resistance and being willing to step into your future. So focus on what it is that you want so that you can get there. So that you can create this for yourself. Because this new moon solar eclipse that we are having in Cancer at the end of the week is at 0 degrees. That's super powerful. And for you, that's in your 8th house of transformation. Really a big freaking deal. This new beginning is really a big freaking deal. So focusing it on what you want to have this bring in for you is really a great way to start moving things forward. So the moon's going to move into Taurus at 5:35 a.m. on Tuesday. And this is really a focusing for yourself on surrendering to the divine. Surrendering the timing, the orchestration of events, not what it is you want. I used to say, just tell me what I'm supposed to do and I'll do it. I used to ask all the time, and finally Spirit said, oh my goodness, that is not how it works. That is not how it works. You let us know what you want, and we will create with you to make it happen. And that's why you say things like, I'm always in the right place at the right time with the right people and the right opportunities. That is you co-creating with spirit what it is you've already decided. So when you turn over the timing, when you release how it's going to happen, see the butterflies, the transformation there, when you release to the transformation, the details of it to spirit, because you are never alone. No matter what's going on in your life, spirit's got you. And I got to tell you, I've been in some pretty dark places, and I didn't notice spirit there until later when I looked back. I'm like, holy cow, I was not alone. So if you're in those kinds of spaces right now, you are not alone. Ask to be shown that you are not alone. Ask for a sign, a signal, something that you know you want to set up for. Part of that was I was pretty sure that my spirit animal was a red-tailed hawk. And so I was walking one day and I was thinking about it. And I was on my way to the little corner drugstore. And I said, okay, it was Sunday morning. It was really early, nothing much going on outside. And I'm like, okay, so if this is really my spirit animal, I want a tail feather. So I go into the little drugstore, and I come out, and I'm on my way back, and just about the spot where I had said that, there was a tail feather sitting in the middle of the sidewalk. I would have totally noticed if it had been there on the way by. So ask for some kind of a sign. If you're feeling like you are definitely out there on your own and you need to know that you're not, ask for a sign. They will show up. The signs always come when you need them. On Thursday, Mercury goes retrograde at 12:59 in the morning. This is happening in Cancer. This is a water sign. This means communication of emotional issues. Emotional communication is going to be very staticky, very muddled, very hard to understand. And so understanding that you need to be very careful in choosing how you say things and what words you use, and if you're writing or speaking, choosing your words carefully, but also understanding that on the other side, the reception side, it's going to be a struggle for them to understand. So the clarity that you need to speak with is going to be key for the next, 6, I don't know, was it 3 weeks? 3 or 4 weeks. I should know, but I don't. I would have to look it up. So there's that going on. And you also have the fact that the other people may not be aware that this is a thing. So Mercury goes direct on July 12th. So that's like 3 weeks. So it's going to be a little muddled. Just, pay attention to that. It's a good time to kind of take a break, kind of rest. The moon, in Gemini, it's busy, but it's also about having the patience. And again, it's about surrendering to spirit as you get ready to move into this eclipse energy that's going to kind of shoot you like a slingshot, like a rocket, boom. So you have see the divine in everyone. Count your blessings and the good in your life will multiply. Your attitude is what they're talking about here, right? If you can see the divine, if you can see your soulmates in these difficult relationships that you've been struggling with and understand that they're here to help you, that's part of seeing the divine, right? And then this counting your blessings, and that raises your vibrational energy. When you start looking around and you go, when you say to yourself, wow, I have this and I have that and I have so much, I always have so much, but there's always more on the way. It's your attitude that attracts it in, and then you have birth. Be receptive to a new idea, a child, or a situation. There will be a lot of children coming soon. but a birth of a idea, a passion project, of some new idea. Remember, you just let go of some limiting beliefs, right? And now you have all these unlimited ideas coming in. Be open to receiving them and the messages, and honestly, they're coming from the divine. You are not alone. You're being guided. So this new moon, this new moon is really, really important. Okay, so the sun moves into Cancer on Saturday. That's the longest day of Well, it's a solstice. If you're in the northern hemisphere, it's the most daylight we have. If you're in the southern hemisphere, it's your shortest day, the most darkness that you're going to have. And then it starts moving the other way, right? And so the sun moves into Cancer at 5:44 p.m. on Saturday. At 2:02 in the morning on Sunday. So is it like 9 hours later? I don't know, 8.5, 9 hours later. The moon moves into Cancer, and then within 39 minutes, we get the eclipse. And so really early on Sunday here in the eastern part of the United States. So 2:41 a.m. If you're on the West Coast, you get it at, you get the eclipse at 2, hold on. Something's wrong with what I wrote down. Nope, that's right. That's right. Okay, so it's at 11:41 p.m. on Saturday night if you're on the West Coast of the United States. What are you passionate about? What do you want to set your intention for? That's what this is for. This new beginning. So, Moon in Cancer is a couple of things. It's represented by Hera. Hera had a real jealousy issue. Granted, she deserved to have it. I mean, seriously, Zeus was really not a good guy. But it's also the moon and Pluto. And the moon and Pluto is about transformation. And it's happening in your 8th house of transformation. And there's this sense that you're really stepping through the gateway to something new. And it's something that you're really passionate about. And I don't know that it's a relationship. I know you just came out of the relationship sector, though. But that was going on opposing what was happening in your sign. So this is about you. This is the new paradigm of you. The new who you want to be. If you are a Sagittarius rising, it is about you and what you want. If you're a Sagittarius sun, it's going to be how you feel about what it is you really want. Like, how do you view the world through that lens? Sagittarius moon would be how you feel about it. It's a big deal. There's a lot happening here. So what are you passionate about? What do you want to create? If you want to create a relationship that really works for you, the healthy boundaries become really, really important. So you have a fiery climax approaches. We have another eclipse coming on July 5th. That's a releasing one. That's in Capricorn. So, what are you passionate about? What is it that you're trying to create? It says, safe and surrounded by love. All right. Safe and surrounded by love. 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 This change, whatever's going on, I think you feel really destabilized by it. I think you feel like the ground is really shifting beneath your feet. That you're struggling to figure out who you are, what you are, where you going, what you doing, right? But you have the next 18 months while that North Node is in Gemini and the South Node is in Sagittarius. It's really going to affect you. And you have an 18 months of being curious about where you want to go next and what are you willing to leave behind in order to chase down your dreams and go to where you want to go. It's a big deal. It's exciting. You don't need all the answers. You just have to be willing to ask the questions and release the control of deciding what the answers are going to look like. Leave the how, leave the when up to spirit, But ask the questions. Be curious about what you want. So it says, it's easy for me to express myself. I am understood. I hear what others are communicating. So this feels like a Mercury situation here, right? Speak the truth, listen well, have the courage to say what you need to say, be heard, and read between the lines. So like I said, it's going to be really kind of, communication's going to be a little fuzzy. And over the next 2 weeks, as we slide into this Mercury in retrograde, and then for the couple weeks beyond that, really listen to what other people are saying. Be as clear as you can in your communication. You are not alone. You are surrounded, but things are destabilized right now. And so trying to bring the balance back in, the way you're going to do that. Okay, so I just saw a teeter-totter, right? So on the teeter-totter, it's rocking back and forth, right? So how do you make that balance, right? You get it so that it's sitting even, because in the center, it's even, right? So the fulcrum, you are the fulcrum of your life. So breathing out the negative, breathing in positive. So in through the nose, out through the mouth. Really grounding yourself, imagining the different chakras opening up and this white light just aligning them, bringing everything back into alignment. I'll put Nancy's stuff in the her details in the description box below for some Reiki treatment. She's very affordable, but it'll help you to align, or you could try looking for something on YouTube. But just breathing right now and getting yourself centered and listening, really listening, using all of your senses to listen with. This is blue agate, by the way, blue lace agate. So listen with all of your senses. Listen to what you hear, listen to what you're seeing. How are they reacting? How do you feel? Like someone's not communicating with you and it's a little sketch. Listen to that, right? So all of those pieces. So stand in your truth, stand up for yourself. This feels really powerful. The energy in this room is really intense right now. And so I feel like this is a big deal for you, this round of eclipses. And then we're moving into the next 18 months. So Sagittarius, it looks like you're in for an interesting ride. But one that when you get off on the other side, when the merry-go-round stops going and you hop off, you meet yourself. That's what I think happens here. And so be open to how long it's going to take, be patient with the process, and stay curious. And I think you're really going to get something out of this. All right? All right, you guys take care. If you have any more questions and you want a personal reading, details are below, and I'll talk to you soon.